Can we just start off really quick? I know we have a set of things to do or to talk about. Guys, I turned on the radio today, and there was Christmas music.
I already kind of experienced that living in a Filipino house. I think it's a cultural thing, but I think Filipinos really dig the Christmas time. So, like my mom, before she left to, I'll get into that later. But before she left to the airport, I noticed that our house was slightly already decorated with Christmas stuff.
That's disgusting.
No hey, I just said it's a cultural thing.
no love for Halloween.
Oh yeah. My dad's like, there's no kids living in this neighborhood anymore. We'll just leave the...
Oh no, Varuna's leaving early. That's a first. Have a good night, Varuna. I think Speed just died.
Oh, what?
Hello?
Hello? Am I good?
Yeah, now you are.
Okay, I think it's because I keep bumping the USB wire with my leg. Let me just do this. There we go. Oh, there. Yeah.
Oh, you just flipped into the other microphone. Oh, he is dying. Guys, I think he's dead. So how's everybody doing? Hopefully, oh god.
Is it? Hello?
There you go. Hello? You were fine. Whatever you did, do it again.
It keeps unread.
Oh my god.
Podcast. This.
Oh my god.
Hello?
There we go.
Is everything fine?
Yes. Don't touch
Who's
anything.
massaging me right now? Who's bread? I should never have Steam open. Who's bread?
What do you mean who's bread?
I don't name people on my Steam. I need to do that. So I can't. It's been a while since I've had Steam open either, so I can't remember.
Oh, I think he died again.
Who am I still fine?
Now you are, yeah.
Okay, my gosh. And that's a fun way to start the stream, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the stream's already
podcast.
been.
Yeah. So are we good to go? Hopefully.
I think so. I'm ready. Music's playing. Oh no! Everything. No! It did it to me again.
By the way, before the stream, Carl was like, "Oh, nothing. It's not working. There's an error." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, I'm just kidding." I was like, "I'm going to explode my pantaloons."
I did do that to him. I'm a bad person. I did in fact do that to him. There's going to be a green box that shows up on the screen in just a second here. Do not worry, for this is normal.
Oh, that's the Streamlabs, right?
Yes.
Sorry to unveil the curtain there. But since I learned how to do that, I know what it is.
The only problem I have with it is anytime I open up XSplit with it not being a thing, it like defaults itself to another window. I don't like that.
Darn. I was hoping to get that in
Oh.
before you had it set up.
Thanks for the bits, Speed.
Buster.
You rock. Okay.
So we good to go?
Yeah.
Still setting up?
No, yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah. Let me turn this music off right now. Get podcast. This podcast. Please don't watch this podcast. Welcome today. This this is a Burger King wrapper. This isn't even my notes here. You'll have to excuse us. We're having construction going on behind us.
Man, I'm thirsty. I need to take my insulin shot. Okay.
All right. So, did you obviously we have topics to talk about today, but did you add anything else or come up with anything else to add?
I was too busy thinking about how I can hear everything now, so
Oh.
I didn't really think of anything else.
Oh, you didn't get the toilet flush.
You think I have time to run to my toilet after all that microphone trouble too?
Yeah.
Jeez. If I was on the can while we streamed, I think you would remove me from the the circle. So on speed, that's Carl. Today is October 26th, October 27th if you're feeling a little risky. And we now have a bit more structure to our stream or our podcast, but hopefully we'll still get it'll get better from here. So
Yeah.
So Carl, what's been going on this week? For you?
Basically, I've been working primarily on Earthbound Night, getting all the videos done. All the primary all the primary videos that I was planning on are in fact done as of right now, unless you have any changes to anything that you wanted to make.
I never got around to making that thing for the secret commercial.
Yeah.
Certain thing you are listening to. I didn't get around to that, so I think you'll just have to forego that. Wait, actually, but I still might do it. I don't know.
The only thing I'm kind of upset and sad about is that so I've been just having a horrendous time with my teeth. Because I got the replacement crown in. We finished the root canal, but they put this replacement crown in, and it's very different to what my tooth has been before. So I have been just chomping at it all week, even though I'm not supposed to, and I kind of cut into my lip. So now, like, I can play brass, but it's not really a fun time. I don't have fun. So
yeah, when I got
until that
my
kind of
cavities
heals,
a little edited, I definitely felt I had a feeling, and like I just kept going because it feels weird. It's not like I wasn't born with this, you know.
Yeah.
So I totally get that feeling.
I feel like there's still a little bit of pain there too, unfortunately, where the tooth is. So that's cool, but I don't know.
Hopefully it'll subside for Earthbound Night.
I just want it to be done now.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Anything else exciting happen?
But what I was going on to is that I unfortunately don't really have any new music to play for Earthbound Night. I was really hoping to have some stuff, but just
the brass.
It's not even so much that I haven't had time necessarily to do it. It's just that the motivation just hasn't been there. Might as well just talk about this really quick. I just haven't had motivation to really do a lot of the music boxes. So music box for this year is going to be kind of bleak, I think. Unless I decide to make like 100 songs a night, which would be cool, but at the same time it would be not practical, I think.
You might just want to change to like maybe a summer release, then you can call it like, I don't know, Carl's Music Box 3.
Well, I mean, I'll still release it as music of 2018. I mean, I got a couple other songs that I'll just add onto there, but it won't be something that it won't be as like significant as the other two albums were.
Something you can hang your hat on though, that I think you've been talking about how these past few songs you've been the most proud about, and I think that goes hand in hand without having with not having to rush yourself each week now.
Yeah, that's true. But I kind of did like the rush, and I kind of would like to be more kind of adamant about it, like just getting more out there. Um, my life as a whole is just kind of all over the place as of right now. Unfortunately, with too much work going on, with trying to maintain the YouTube stuff, with trying to make sure the Twitch stuff is all good, and then trying to find time to just practice the instruments and record stuff. It does take quite a bit of time. Not to say that I again don't have the time, but there comes a point where it's like, I want Evan likes Rust. I like Rust. I like to play Rust with Evan. I like more people to play Rust with me. Rust takes a lot of time out of my life. And if I had it my way where there was plenty of time in my life to just do things, I guarantee you I would play Rust for a week solid with I would just go to bed, wake up, Rust. Go to bed, wake up, Rust. So
stream for this week canceled playing Rust.
you laugh, but it's true.
I know. You keep talking about how it's the most intensive experience you've had playing a video game.
It is. And I played a little bit last night just to see, and I'll play a little bit more tonight.
Yeah, I saw.
Just to see all the updates, because the last time I played Rust as opposed to last night was a couple years. No, not a couple years, maybe a year. And there's a lot of stuff they updated. I thought about streaming Rust, but the problem is that there's a lot of boring to it. It's like Minecraft in a sense. There's a lot of just I'm sitting here mining.
You can't discuss our Let's Play.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah. Sorry.
And I'm a little upset that man, Minecraft's boring to watch. What happened to our Let's Play is gonna be the most exciting thing ever. I think you have to look at it this way too. There is a pleasure in watching, this is where ASMR stems from. Watching people do kind of menial tasks is also kind of, I don't know, a little relaxing, I guess. That's why I kind of like watching just my sister play Harvest Moon from time to time. It's like, hey, you sure watered that plant.
Yeah, and that's fine too, but I was thinking about this as well. Not to completely go off topic of what's been going on, because we'll switch over to speed. But I was thinking about my channel as a whole, and I know you guys. We had this. I actually was thinking about what you guys said last night. How you guys come and watch the stream for me as opposed to what I've been playing, and I think I thought that more so. The focus was what I was playing as opposed to me being the watchy or watcher or whatever. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that's fine. But people have this thing, I guess, in the show business world or whatever, called their bread and butter. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't really have that now that I think about it. And I've been trying to figure out, if I were to have that, what would it be? Because
what do you mean? Could you clarify what you mean by bread and butter?
So bread and butter means that it's a financial term, I guess, in a sense. Not to say a financial end for me, but what it means is it's your primary function, what people always are gonna want. If they think Carl 101, what do they think? A lot of people may say Pikmin, a lot of people say Spyro, a lot of people, Mario Party, and but the problem is that then they keep going on. It's well, he's also this, and he's also this, and he's also this, and he's also this, and this, and this, and it's so I have a harder time kind of just defining Pikmin as my bread and butter, but at the same time, that's probably the more truthful statement of it all. But I thought it would be kind of an interesting topic we can maybe go into a little bit too. But
so I think something interesting though is I think a lot of people can see what your niches are. Well, not niche, but you like Pikmin, you like Mario Party. But I think from when you consider bread and butter into that, do you just stream Pikmin all the time, or do you just stream games like Pikmin? I can see why that's also a difficult thing, because it's like,
Yeah, and
where do you go after you've played Pikmin a couple times?
yeah, and I'm the kind of person that I don't. The primary reason why there's two reasons why I don't like speedrunning specifically, because otherwise I'd probably just speedrun Pikmin. The thought actually really ran through my head quite a few times after the Pikmin night run. It was like, well, I did 50, and I'd loaded the game up after probably months, my last playthrough of it, and sure, I could probably speedrun it a few times and probably improve myself and be even better. Maybe not, necessarily world record status, legitimately, but at least like decent runs of the game. But the problem is that I get bored if I play something for too long. Even Rust, if you can believe that too, with all the hype that I put behind it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I don't want to break your heart, but Minecraft as well.
What?
But yeah, like it's been a thing that's been on my mind. I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I think I don't know. Maybe I'm just not destined to have one, and that's okay. And maybe I just need to accept that, or maybe I need to find something too.
I'm agreeing with Evening here, in which you could also just be, because you have a wide spread of things you just do. Like, for example, like, yeah, I played a Nintendo game and then I moved on to Dead Space 2. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I know you're not pleased with the number of viewers you sometimes get when you play like Dead Space and stuff, but I think it's interesting that you're willing to do it. It's definitely adds variety to the channel, and having Katie Matinee and then whatever the heck this is, I think makes people still come back. I think most of the factor is just I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to say,
I didn't really think I had a place to go with it, because it was such a topic that I rolled through my head, and I was like, I don't think there's an answer for this other than just to continue what I'm doing and just look past it. But I was just curious to curious to see if anybody had a more definitive answer than just variety,
But so if you were to say a game though, like that really defines you, like as in what you like to play and what you think, what would it be? Because I think a lot of people would say Pikmin.
Yeah.
And then when you're with Troy, I think it's mostly Mario Party.
Well, it's really weird because and I guess we might as well just well, first of all, did you do anything exciting this week? Do you have a lot to say, or is it just like, I went shopping?
My ear is clear. That was pretty fun, I guess. Like, I thought it would be a long procedure. They got one of those syringe things and then like some warm water. Did
they put the peroxide in?
No, what I actually used was the Debrox. I was actually using that for.
So you didn't go into an actual like doctor's office to do it?
Well, yeah, I did. I went to the clinic.
Okay.
Because they don't that tool that they use does not something you could just pick up. Because I was trying to do it at home with like a little syringe thing, because my mom's a nurse, and she had one of those lying around, and I was like, all right. Well, it's not the sharp syringe, by the way. It's like the one with the cap thing, the Dynatap. So I was doing that for quite a bit, but it wasn't really getting the results. And I was surprised that all the earwax came out in a big chunk. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, I wasn't expecting to go to a clinic or a doctor's visit specifically just for getting my ears pumped and then going home.
Yeah.
But the fact that everything is loud right now to me is pretty fun. But besides my ear, which has been basically what I've been talking about the last week or so. Well, I got a speech coming up in class for it's an informational speech about technology, so I've been preparing that. I've also been helping Carl with a little of the Earthbound Night.
I remember a
Hopefully
class
that
about
all goes well.
technology.
Sorry?
I remember a class about technology. I remember hating it.
Oh, but my speech is about like latest technology. So
Oh, it was about for speech class.
um,
Never mind. Okay.
I had 2 topics down. One was medical drones that send medical supplies, with swiftness, I suppose. And then the other one was I'm trying to think here. Oh, it's eye tracking for your car, and it checks if you're like getting sleepy or not. Because
Yeah.
definitely sleepy, drowsy drivers are just as dangerous as drunk drivers.
Oh yeah, it's my dad has one of those actually, because especially since we used to go on vacations a lot back in the day, and we I remember we were driving through the Rocky Mountains in Colorado at 1:30 in the morning during what's it called? A
Storm?
forest fire.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we drove through Denver, and like the sky, like for a lack of better term, it literally looked like hell. Like the world was ending. Like I couldn't make this up. The sky was just black, and I mean like black, like not night sky black. I'm talking like
no stars.
You're just looking into the abyss, black.
You're looking at a horror game.
Yeah. So
And he was falling asleep.
Well, at 1:30 in the morning, like driving through the mountains on a 2-lane mountain road, it's like you don't want to be driving there. You want to be sleeping. So I think one of those would have helped too. Not to say that the rest of us were all up except myself, constantly keeping them awake and alerted. But
I was just thinking, between the two, which one would I pick though? I think I'm more inclined for medical drone because like the recent hurricanes, it's a hot button topic, and I have a lot of sources. But I was also thinking, I also thought back to the car, just because I read that Tyler, the creator, he's a rapper if you don't know, fell asleep and he came out totally fine, but his Tesla got wrecked. So he was driving up late. But I don't know. It's good to. I think it's good to see technology because there's not really a test to see if you're sleepy or not. As opposed to if you're drunk. So that's kind of I don't know, an interesting technology tidbit too that I can square in on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically been my week.
And finishing up the RPG or the Hex RPG.
The classes were pretty tough when everything was like.
Oh yeah, no, I can imagine.
Muffled.
You had both your ears down or one?
Yeah, definitely.
See, the most recent one when they did my ears, it was both, but normally it's usually just one. So I'd almost rather just take the deafness in both ears than the disorientation of having one clean and one dirty, I guess.
Yeah, because like my thing was like, so I have a classmate and she was talking to me, but my left ear was clear, my right ear was not. So every time she talked to me, I would turn my body like I'm looking behind myself just to listen to what she's saying.
Yeah, and
I'd rather they just yell at me, I guess.
Well, the more dangerous thing is that you can. What I used to do was turn. I had like the mixer, so I could pan left and right. And I could. There was a time where I figured out that you could pan one section, or you basically the right ear, like to be full, and the left ear to be not, and then you just turn the master volume up, which is a horrible thing to do to your. I do not recommend anybody does this. But it was one of those moments where it's like, I want to hear normally, and I guess in a sense, that was the way of hearing normally.
Oh man, and driving was pretty spook. I didn't encounter any problems really, like no no emergency vehicle running through or anything.
Right.
But like I normally have my music at like 10 on the radio thing for my car. I had it at 30 so I could hear it a little.
Well,
and I was like, that's gonna hurt my ears later.
My dad actually, like literally a week or two after I got my procedure done, he had it bad. We have this stereo in the living room, and it's like like we turned it up to, I think like 70 once, and it was just like thumping the whole house. So my mom comes downstairs and my dad's just calmly watching the show, and he looks at she looks at the stereo and she's like, "Hun, it's at 80."
And then he's like, "What?"
Yeah, pretty much. So
yeah, my dad doesn't have that stuff anymore, but he used to have speakers, and he used to have it at 60. And like, I don't know, there's this one time where I was just, studying about like, I forget. It was in high school, so it was like, I don't know, algebra or something, or calculus. And then I just hear this summer, it's like this announcer guy, this summer. I freaked out. I was like, hey, who's announcing here? And I just realized my dad's just watching like the trailer before the movie starts or whatever.
yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but we have quite a bit of bootleg CDs. Those thin, like, plastic cases with a printer job, and then you look on the front and it's like,
you're talking about like Sharpie marker.
Oh no, that's on the CD.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, there we go.
But like, oh, there's some funny ones.
Wait, so you actually printed out the album art of it?
No, I didn't do that. That was whoever my dad got it from.
Oh, you're buying bootleg music? Who does that?
No, he's not buying them. He's getting them from we have a
You have a guy?
Yeah, Shady Speed. No, I don't know. It's from the Philippines, so that's why it's bootleg. Like a lot of the bootleg games I own are from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Sharp Freeze. Oh, you're playing the song. I forgot. So that was my week. So are we gonna move on to our next discussion topic, or go back to?
So the reason I wanted to wait on this is because it kind of goes hand in hand with one of the discussion topics that we had. So we were talking about the bread and butter thing, and the games that I'm known for as opposed to games that I play. And the topic that I had written down initially was childhood games, and we talked about this earlier in the week about adding this in. Specifically what everybody's childhood game is. Like what was the first game you remember playing, like what got you into gaming and all that kind of stuff. And I think this goes hand in hand with like what games I'm kind of known for, because some of the games that I grew up with are not particularly Pikmin at all. I mean, I played Pikmin for sure. I remember the day I got a GameCube, one of the games that I wanted to get was Pikmin, and I ended up getting Pikmin 2. Funny enough.
Yeah.
And I really still wanted Pikmin because I for whatever reason, I like Pikmin 1 better than Pikmin 2. So, but
it's a little more succinct of an experience.
Yeah.
I think that would be why.
Not to before we get going, not to just think that I wasn't reading what you guys were saying. I appreciate what you said, evening, about all the what you think I am. That I appreciate that actually a lot. So I just wanted to clarify that I didn't just flat out ignore you. Speed was just really going on about his ears and everything. So
what? No, he was talking about even more. don't try to pin this on me. Sure.
So, I get. Do you have a game that you remember yourself beginning with? What was Speed's beginning like?
So my first game, I always forget what it is. I honestly think it might have been Mario Party 3.
That's a really,
because it's a game that you read a thing and then you press like. So I think I had my sister there, and she would just explain, you mash A here, and I was like, oh, it's the blue one, right? But I don't know, my early games, I honestly don't have the foggiest memory of that. So it's Mario Party 3, I think for sure was probably my first game ever. But I probably said other things back then.
So
too.
You were born in 96, 97?
97.
97. So you were, just for the sake of like basic enough something, you were
I was 4.
You were probably 4, maybe 5. when that came out. So,
You know what? Maybe Mario Paint was my first one because we used to have a SNES, like a
it
legit one, and then
makes sense. The artist in him, Mario Paint,
But,
Mantis.
after that, I also think my first game might have been Simpsons Road Rage, which is a really weird jump between. Well, not Road Rage. Oh, yeah, it is Road Rage. Not Hit and Run. Road Rage. I don't know.
The
I have a
lesser
hard
of the
time-
two PlayStation or lesser of the two Simpsons games that
I
came
don't
out
GameCube.
during the
Like-
PlayStation 2 era.
My first consoles were definitely GameCube, SNES, and N64. So.
So I have a little bit of a gap between since I'm 4 years older than you now.
You're 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a little less to start out with than you, I suppose. But
I don't know. You had the SNES. You had
I had a ColecoVision, man.
Ooh.
Want to talk about old stuff? I still have it actually. I will say getting that ColecoVision to play, that's one of the few things that I regretfully have to emulate because to get
I
it
definitely don't miss that.
it's just
screwing the thing.
God, the stupid twin lead stuff. Yeah, I totally agree. RF connection is a bummer in this day and age, but I'd like to get it to work at some point. But anyways, I guess kind of thinking about it, my first few games I remember playing back in the day were Link to the Past. I've never actually played B-17 Bomber, believe it or not.
So Link to the Past?
Link to the Past, Zelda 2. Probably more so Zelda 2 than Link to the Past.
I get that feeling.
And I remember playing a couple other SNES games, Zombies at My Neighbors, Mario World, those kind of games. Maybe a couple NES games. I don't remember the NES too much because as soon as Super Nintendo kind of took over, NES was kind of thrown to the wayside, sadly. But I remember my first game that I truly owned myself, that wasn't my brother's or anything, was the day I got a PlayStation on my 5th birthday. And I got Spyro the Dragon. Silent Hill, yeah. Oh god, I think he broke again. Oh no, he broke again.
Ah!
I guess I can keep talking because he can hear me, he just can't speak properly. Or he's dead, I don't know. But yeah, so I got Spyro the Dragon and a demo disc which had Crash Bandicoot 1 attached to it, as well as a few other games. I remember playing.
Am I good, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember playing the second level of Crash Bandicoot 1. That's the rollers. Oh God, what is going on with you?
I don't know.
And I remember playing a little bit of Tomb Raider. Even though I completely sucked at that game, there was this wolf that always showed up, and I failed at shooting it and killing it. And I remember playing. I think Blast Chamber was on there. That's how I know of that game. If you do not know Blast Chamber for PlayStation 1, I highly recommend that you play that game. Or at least view it. We played it actually at a couple game-a-thons. Me and Troy always have a, no pun intended, blast playing it. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, those definitely were the true starting ages of my life as a gamer. Was that PlayStation. So I've always I'm probably known more so for playing Nintendo games these days, but I definitely grew up as a PlayStation kid for a long time. And then the N64 rolled in my life, and then it was even Stevens. Oh, and Genesis was also in my life. I had Sonic, Lost Vikings, Mega Bomberman, the better Bomberman, the best Bomberman, and NBA Jam.
Boom shakalaka. That's NBA Jam, right? Just to make
Yes,
sure.
that is correct.
It's been a while. It's my apologize.
Um,
Um,
but growing up, going back to what I was talking about earlier, I grew up a lot with FPS games, which is why I like to play those like Counter-Strike and stuff. I actually didn't grow up specifically with Counter-Strike. I played more of a game called Unreal Tournament for quite a bit. I played a little bit of Quake in my life. I never really got far in the actual story mode, but more so Unreal Tournament than anything. When I was probably ending middle school, starting high school, was probably my Call of Duty phase, where I played Modern Warfare, like right as soon as I got home from school until late into the night. So it's kind of weird when asking the question of like, what am I known for video games wise? When I do streaming and stuff, I try to find stuff that people are really gonna actually enjoy, and that's part of the reason why, if you ever give me a suggestion, I'm just like, no. It's not necessarily because your suggestion is terrible. It's just because your suggestion is terrible.
alright.
No, it's just because as much as I would enjoy sitting there playing it, I don't know. Some games I'm just really quiet about. So, like, I just don't want to say anything. Like, when I play Counter-Strike, I'm a little more on the quieter side of things, unless, something inevitably happens, and then I'll become vocal. But, like, I don't know. There's something to be said about just sitting there as quiet as possible playing a game. RPGs are the biggest culprit for that. Specifically because, like, I'm not the biggest fan of just reading text from an RPG out loud. Like, I just don't think that I can. No, Tropical Freeze is not a terrible suggestion. I would consider playing Tropical Freeze at some point. But like, RPGs are not my favorite thing to just go out and read. I just like them kind of being on the screen, and that's it. So, what did you grow up with?
So I'm gonna go a little backtrack. So regarding Pikmin, I had Pikmin 1. I did not have Pikmin 2. So the what do you call it? The way I found your channel, this is why I think I know you as the Pikmin guy, is because I was like, Pikmin 1's a scary game. It's pretty scary. There's big creatures. We're just small people. What's going on here? And I just like, I need someone else to play this. And I was like, Kathleen, my sister, can you play it? And she's like, no. Don't touch me. I was like, all right, what can I do? And I was like, YouTube. That's a novel idea. And it's kind of funny. By this time, I've already played Silent Hill, I think. So that is how I found you.
Yeah.
Really, I was like, I need someone to play this. But yeah, that's something I kind of grew up with, just watching you play it, and then wanting. I eventually want to play it by myself. I actually, sorry, I meant to say, I eventually went and played it by myself again. I didn't get all the pieces, but I did beat it, so that was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you definitely helped guide the hips there, But games I grew up with, I think you definitely notice from my channel and what I've been streaming. Puzzle Fighter is probably one of my favorite games. I just love, matching all the stuff together. It feels good to play. I think that's why I like it.
It's weird. Like, I really don't play like games like Tetris or Dr. Mario. Oddly enough, despite the fact that I'll easily beat you in those. Like, you would think, I suppose, that I would have played them a lot, but I hardly ever played them as a kid.
Oh, speaking of Tetris, though, I streamed with Chris earlier, and though there was lag, and yeah, there's definitely lag on his end. I went an hour without losing.
Wow, way to go!
I think I've definitely improved my Tetris game since I've done it on this channel
So
with you.
you played an hour of Tetris,
Puyo Tetris.
Puyo Puyo Tetris, and he didn't beat you once.
But I will give it there was big lag. So for every 3 moves I would do, he could only do like one. So we might have to fix that later down the line.
Yeah,
I should mention this is a double header. I already had a stream earlier.
yeah, it is for you. Well, I thought weren't you busy with something, or was that what you were busy with?
My ears.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Guess I gotta get my ears cleaned out.
And so that Puzzle Fighter, yeah. And then for when you look at the channel, I think what I want to be like the niche I want to go into is probably like kind of life simulation type games, like games you wouldn't expect people to you know, record themselves playing and having a fun time with it.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't know. I really like Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing. I like that feeling of virtual, reward.
See, those are games where, like, again, I say to myself, they're not games I really like to talk too much over, I suppose, because like I would really enjoy playing like Cities XL. Like I'd love to stream that at one point, but I know for a fact that I don't think it'd be the most entertaining.
That's why on our end we try to get creative. Like we make back lore stories for these characters. So in Harvest Moon, like the characters, like they're not really written that well, but I don't know, it's debatable. But for the most part, their personalities are more up to like for you to interpret. And I think that's why a lot of people like playing them, because they make up their own lore for the character that they're gonna marry.
Yeah.
But definitely the games that we play, we have to push the envelope a lot for it to be interesting. But I think that's also what makes it fun. Like if I were to do a city game, I would definitely make up backstories like, oh yeah, this is the criminal district. They sell gun here.
Well,
I don't know.
I was actually watching a video today of a guy doing Cities XL, and he successfully made a city, and this was without too much effort too, where the whole entire city was one road. Like he literally just snaked the whole road like throughout the entire block.
Map.
And
yeah, so I definitely think when you have games that are you can consider them boring or like simulators, it's definitely thinking outside the box, making something stupid or making something interesting. I think that's really
the
way to make them interesting.
And the other thing that kind of is just weird to me too is that like some games just randomly draw people.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, that's the thing I've never been able to understand. It's like
no one knows why we got 100 viewers that day for Don't Starve.
And but
we got Wolfblade. So
let me tell you about a story of a guy who decided to stream Scooby-Doo Mystery, thinking that nobody would watch that crap. And lo and behold, 14 people show up last night.
Dude, check out your videos. It has 26 views, I think, for Scooby-Doo.
Does it actually?
Yeah, check out your videos, your VODs, your latest broadcast, rather.
And
you see that?
That's people that have watched the VOD, not the stream itself.
Yeah. And then look at Little Big Planet. That's 59 views.
Really?
Yeah, what's going on here? They were raids, but it's like, who would have known that at that time we would get a raid like that? It's stuff like that. I think definitely streaming has.
We didn't get a raid on that day though.
Yeah, we did. That's how we got 100. We got a raid from another Don't Starve person.
Oh yeah, Don't Starve for sure. But I thought you were.
Oh, for the broadcast, the podcast last week.
No, I thought you were talking about Little Big Planet. I was like,
yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's because of Ashley. Everyone wanted to know.
Oh yeah, okay.
What's going on with Ashley? I hope Connor's okay.
Yeah, and then you look at
we'll get back to that.
The Death Road to Canada ones, and it's like, oh, one view. Okay.
Grim Fandango. Oh, 0 views. Okay.
My favorite thing is like one of the clips we got for the longest time. If you look at top clips, it was the one of you and Troy drawn by Brian holding hands peeing. Friends till the end.
Maybe
think
they bought into the clickbait or something.
it's definitely something there's definitely an unexpected aspect to streaming and making content in general.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Carl's channel too, for the VODs he uploads, not on the VOD channel, but like his regular channel, the most viewed VOD, you know this one, Carl, right?
Maybe.
It's the Teaches typing game.
Yeah. I don't understand
I
that.
don't know what's going on here.
I forgot about that. You're right.
People just want to see you play like boring games. Is that really the? Because you played smoking. Don't stop smoking.
Yeah,
Coke.
and everybody loved that. I don't understand. Oh,
And then when you switch to like Kim Possible, it was like. But you need Drake and Josh. You need that
I
one.
need Drake and Josh.
Dude, you know what? Next game we're streaming together, Carl's gonna do a playthrough of the Drake and Josh game
Why?
for GBR. Do you know that's a stealth game, right?
It is, isn't it?
Well, anyway, back to that. Everyone likes stupid games. Yeah, I agree with that. I guess the thing is, I don't know how to phrase it. I think it's just like do what you want, and then if just don't expect. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I guess. Yeah. Going back to the same old thing I keep saying, but yeah, I don't know. I don't. I hardly play Pikmin, all things considered. Like I don't sit at home playing Pikmin all day. It's just something I never do. So it's kind of weird to be like, well, he's a Pikmin person. That's him.
It's definitely, well, I wouldn't say nostalgia's feeling it, but it's definitely because that's your most viewed Let's Play. If you look at your videos,
Yeah, that's true.
I think that has 200,000 views.
Yeah.
It's a big boy amount.
It's a big.
It's pretty juicy.
I'd love to see that again on something.
Hey, we're
getting
Mother
there.
Base takes time.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not gonna be like when we were playing Peace Walker and then my base kept filling up too fast. And Kaz was like, "Oh man, overboard." I definitely think in that regard, Carl, I'm looking at what Luke's saying, and I kind of agree. I don't think you should force yourself to play spooky games, even though it's October. I feel like I got the sense that you felt like you were obligated to do so. Is that?
Well, it
What do you
wasn't so much. Well, okay, so here's the problem October kind of ran into. The first week of October was kind of screwed up because of the stupid internet stuff being messed up. And just a whole bunch of different things just kind of ended up happening. You know, I had to skip a couple days for teeth incidents, and everything just kind of fell apart. So I kind of lost a lot of interest in it part way, and like I've said before, I don't really feel. Do you guys enjoy watching me play a spooky game? Because like,
Yeah, I love watching Hex. Personally.
because like I played Outlast I think last year, and obviously I didn't get any spooked whatsoever, and a couple of people were like, I'm just like ice cold, and that's fine if that's something you enjoy, but like I don't know, I think when people associate with horror games, like they want them to be scared, they want them to be spooked. Like I thought about playing Slenderman, honestly, but like with issues going on with the game, like in the real world and all that kind of stuff, I didn't really think it was like I wasn't sure if it was appropriate anymore. So
Were people talking about how you played Five Nights at Freddy's? I wasn't around for that, but didn't you play Five Nights at Freddy's like last year too?
Yeah, and well, I played Freddy's, I want to say 2 years ago, and that was on Halloween, and I beat it that night. Like I went through all 5 days, or all 5 nights, and I was once again ice cold. All the jump scares, everything did not spook me out whatsoever.
This is definitely why I hesitate whenever I when we were like, oh, do you think I'd like Resident Evil or do you think I'd like Silent Hill? Because it's like I think you might be playing them for maybe a different approach.
I think, I give some thought about this too, and I think the biggest thing I need to be the big brother of spooky games, and what I'm saying is that I need to all spooky games that I ever play just need to be co-opted. Like, I need to play Silent Hill with somebody. I need to play Amnesia with somebody. All those games. Like, somebody that's gonna be just like flat out scared, so I can basically laugh at them.
Well, sorry, that won't be me. It's weird because everyone's like, man.
So Troy, if you're listening to this right now, give me a call.
Oh yeah, get Tom. Tom kept screaming during Fierce.
Oh yeah, Tom would be good.
Tom would be fantastic. He would swear for you too.
Yeah.
For free.
Dude, I'd make $1 million to just put a swear jar out there. Tom, every time you swear, it's $1 in the jar.
But yeah, I wouldn't be the right guy because I definitely played my fair share of horror games. But I would be good at coaching. Like, hey, there's a med kit down that next to the grave in Silent Hill 2. Actually, I would not be a good coach because I would mix too many things up. That's definitely one of my weakest points, coaching people. Oh man, Silent Hill. I'm just thinking about it again.
So, but yeah, October. I'm ready to be done with it, I suppose. Like, we have obviously I'm not streaming tomorrow, but we have Earthbound Night Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are gonna be. Tuesday is going to be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Speakers. Oh. Why?
Because we're gonna finish off October with some spook.
We know that you're the sneakers guy. That's your bread.
Well, yeah, okay. Speedrunning sneakers.
Dude, I mean, it would be so funny. It was like, all right, Freddy killed us. Let's move on to sneakers.
I'm just thinking, trying to take myself seriously, like at AGDQ or SGDQ while playing sneakers.
Yeah. I just did the mouse skip. Saved me.
Like I was thinking about the trashing of Mirror's Edge.
What do you mean?
Well, there is that they did the Mirror's Edge.
Is it the new one or the old?
I think it's one of the older ones, but this.
But no, I meant like the game. Is it Catalyst or is it regular?
I don't remember. It was basic Mirror's Edge, I guess, and he got trashed because he. I guess for a lack of better understanding, I guess his speedrun just kind of sucked and nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like I'd be in the same boat because like Sneakers is such that much of a boring game, in my opinion, that like it'd be like, why are we doing this? Why is this a speedrun? Why is anybody watching this? Let's move on.
Have you played Mirror's Edge, by the way?
I did. I didn't care for it.
I really liked it myself. Not the first one. Not the new one.
I just I think I got stuck and I didn't feel like going on. I was just like, whatever.
It's okay.
I don't know. It was a game that just never really. It appealed to me until I played it, and then it stopped appealing to me.
Like I like games with movement, and that's probably why I really like it. The story is just okay, but man, I really like the gameplay of it. And I was worried about the sequel with having weaponry and stuff, or a bit more. I don't know. I didn't really play the second one. Johnny came over with it. I was like, "Oh, play this. You played the first one, right?" Yeah, I did. And then I'll send you I'll get it eventually. There's a glitch I pulled, and then that's all I did of the game. I got a police officer stuck in a wall.
Oh.
Yeah. But I had if we backtrack a little. I did have fond memories of Mirror's Edge. And then let's go back forward. Where are we at again? October still?
Yeah, October.
We still have a lot of topics here.
Yeah. So October will be. I don't know what I'm going to be doing on Monday, and Wednesday I'm still kind of in the. I'm not sure yet, but Tuesday for
Monday
sure.
Monday wouldn't hurt as a recuperation because you're going to be at Earthbound for a while, aren't you?
Yeah. I still got to finish The Last of Us. I thought about streaming that yesterday because I didn't have anything better to do other than Scooby-Doo, which actually I'm glad I did Scooby-Doo. But I think at this point, I just gotta suck it up and just say that's gonna go into November. As just a continuation, and that's fine because The Last of Us really isn't Halloween spooky driven. It's more of its own thing.
Thriller.
Yeah.
I always find it as a sneaky thriller. I mean, clickers are pretty spooky. I think they're well designed. But besides that, yeah, it's more of a drama to me, a thriller, high tension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be October for you then.
Yeah, so I think like the best way to put it is that I'll think about what I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on Monday, and then November we'll roll around and we'll go back into normal stuff. I am going to continue on with Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex, or start it up
I'm
again.
gonna tackle your schedule here, because
Yeah, it's
honestly, it's been what do you call it? Collecting
neglected.
dust.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things. Honestly,
that was a good one stream of it.
There's been a lot of things collecting dust, honestly, and that's my fault again. A lot of it is just a motivational push. Like, you know, the VODs channel is gonna, like you said, Mother Base is gonna start out slow, and I have a little bit of a harder time just kind of accepting that with myself, not with you guys. So don't ever feel that like I'm harsh against you guys. It's me being harsh towards myself, and that's just the natural personality of myself. That being said, though, I got to just get over the fact that things are going to be slow and just keep pushing exactly what I'm doing and not change anything else. So I apologize for not updating my primary channel with more highlights and stuff to add to it, because I think you guys all enjoy seeing those re-uploaded. Kind of a throwback to like, hey, I remember that moment.
Hey, I clipped that. Where's my credit?
Yeah.
That's what I think whenever I see it happen.
I just keep forgetting to write it down, and then it's like,
Well, it's okay. I mean, you're the reason why the clip was created in the first place.
yeah, it's my content. Don't take credit.
My channel.
So, I'd like to get back in that. And again, like I'd like to continue doing music boxes. I really enjoy doing them. It's just all the stuff to do it takes up time and it takes up effort. And the biggest problem too is there's so much to do. Like we might as well get into this topic. Is next. It's a good segue to is how we each make videos and stuff. A lot of the editing and all that stuff. Maybe you guys may secretary exactly. But a lot of that video making does kind of take a little bit of time to do. Obviously, the music boxes are. I pretty much mastered the method of how to kind of build them. Basically, stick the song in, and adjust a couple things, and it's ready to go. But like, you know, I'd like to get back into a little bit more video editing and producing and stuff like that. It's just that I think that's a dead thing for me because I just don't have time for it anymore. This gentleman here, though, is a professional video editor, even if he does not think remotely of the sort, because he knows all the tricks and is a master at all the tricks, and he needs to take more appreciation of everything.
What?
So Speed.
I don't know. Well, so my thing is that my computer is a single butt cheek.
This man, let me tell you about Speed Slasher. This man won the Gameathon 5 commercial contest using only Windows Movie Maker and like MS Paint.
Oh no, I had Paint.net. Come on, give me a little credit there.
It doesn't matter. It's not any better.
No, I had the technology was a little upgraded from MS Paint. Let me but honestly, my drive to edit is very low right now, just because editing is not bad, honestly. The only bad part is I have to listen to Johnny and I yammer on about garbage.
See,
I'm talking about the channel.
You edit stuff that I think kind of gets, like, the edits that you do are great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoy seeing all your little edits and stuff. The problem is that, like, you know, I watched both episodes of Resident Evil 7, and I enjoyed both of them. But being one that also edits stuff too, I know that probably was a slog of just editing and sitting there and waiting and editing.
I don't mind that. What I mind is that it takes 8 hours to render, and I can't do anything else with my computer.
So see,
So-
we have reverse problems. Is that like you need my, you want to just like save your program, literally give me the flash drive of everything, and I'll just literally toss it into Vegas and then just render it and give you back
Yeah,
the.
but besides that, I don't know. The channel was not looking good. Well, like I have a better mindset now. I'm doing it because I enjoy it, but well, especially because I've been working with on this end a lot more than my own end. Like,
Yeah.
doing all this hexagon ink goodies. But before I was like, not a lot of people are noticing because I don't really get feedback. Is I think the bottom line.
Yeah.
Which I know that transfers to your music too, because it's definitely hard to. I think for both of them, it's pretty hard to get feedback on, unless you're either watching all of it or you're a music man yourself.
Right.
Um. So, but yeah, that's why the channel is not going. I might make a video of that later. I don't know when Johnny ever has free time, except on Saturdays, and even then, that's when I hang out with other friends too alongside him. But when I edit videos for Carl's stuff, it's very freeform. Very, I'm very open to like editing something. If Carl's like, "Hey, put this in," which I forgot to do. Carl told me to add something, and I just forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot more freeform and a lot more
Well, I
like,
think
open.
I think you. I see. I'm always like a little on the nervous side when I just kind of rail somebody, for lack of a better term. Like when something is wrong, I have no problem with letting somebody know. And when he made the Hexagon Cars video, the first take that he sent me, I was like, "This is okay," and it was just okay. But like, it wasn't so much that like Speed wasn't ever gonna do better. It was just a matter of like, here's what you need to do, and this will be great. And I think you can agree to that. Like when you did the second take of the Hexagon Cars, you were like, "All right, I see what he's talking about." I'd hope.
Well, no, I was like, now I have more time. I was like, if I can spend more time on this, then that's good. I just wanted to set down a little, example, just because. Well, that wasn't the mindset back then, but now I think about it, I think the fact that I showed it to you early was definitely helpful.
Next, you must acquire a taste for freeform editing. Oh God.
That's freeform editing right there.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean by freeform editing? Like, if I want to add something in, I'll just add it in. The difference between doing a video for Carl and then doing a video for like the channel is that the channel, we talk, and then like I don't know, a week later I open up the footage, and I have to work with what I got. This one, it's like, I'm gonna add a little funny joke here, a little spice, a little salt on the side, all that.
Yeah. See, I hate going through VODs and stuff and just cleaning them up or editing stuff in. This is I have no passion to be there, and unfortunately, I need a little bit in order to make to kind of give that over the that extra 10%, I suppose. Like you could either go for the A- of getting a 90%, or you could go for the 100%. And that 10%, I've always said, is what makes anybody good to great. When I was working at a music store and selling instruments, I told a lot of parents, like, they would come in and they would be like, I gotta buy my kid an instrument, a trombone or something. I always worked with the brass people, trombones, trumpets, and all that kind of stuff. And I told them, like, they all ask the same question. They're like, why should I spend $2,000 as opposed to $200 from eBay and Amazon? I'm like, practicing is gonna get you 90% of the way there. The 10% though is within the instrument itself. There's all the quality that goes into it, craftsmanship, all that kind of stuff. That's what makes somebody good to great, because not only is the instrument just inherently better, but there's all these little tendencies and things that go into it. So I kind of apply that mentality to a lot of the stuff that I do now. whether it's editing, recording, all that stuff, or at least I try to, anyways. Sometimes the biggest thing I always struggle with, especially with editing and all that kind of stuff, is the laziness that comes into it. I get to, because I have so much to do in my life, and I really need to stop saying that because it's becoming a point of like I'm making this into an excuse, and excuses are also, I firmly believe, a downer towards one's life in a sense. Obviously, we have excuses that we have to use as an excuse. Like if you blow off your arm, you can't draw. But
no, that's I can debate against that. One of my favorite artists, Chuck Close.
no, I get it too, because like I've seen people who
Oh no, I just want to share this because it is really cool. The fact that he has an eye peripheral that he draws with, and he goes up to the piece and looks at it, and like his eye moves around, and then like this thing sprays out. I think at that point though, I know what you're trying to say, but I think there's also adaptability. I think game over is when you're blind, like you can't even see what you're doing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I think more so. I wasn't referring to necessarily those kind of things as being a game over moment. I was talking more of like, you're a graphic designer and you have 3 things that are due in 2 days, and you blow off your arm, and it's like you can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
you can't really
yeah.
just say like, oh, I'm just gonna use my eyes to finish this up. Like, no, because like I get it too. The Black Sabbath's guitarist Tony Iommi, I mean, he chopped his hand up in a grinder at work, or in a grinder or some sort of mechanical or machine tool.
Something that you threw Isaac into.
Yeah, basically, and he only got 3 nubs, if you will, out of his hand remaining. And I mean, Black Sabbath is renowned as one of the best rock and roll and metal bands out there to this day still. So, obviously that wasn't my intention, but
Okay.
what I was saying more so is that like there are acceptable times where excuses have to come into play. It's just
I get it.
don't let the excuses, I guess, turn into laziness, or as Evie put it, quitter talk too. So getting back to what I was saying, a lot of that just has to, I've read stories as well of people who do some of their things where they just keep going at it and going at it and going at it, and
If I don't have a deadline, then it's not being done.
yeah, see, I totally understand that too, but like, at some point even I have to just say to myself, it is done, it is done. I'm not working on this anymore. I'm done with it. And
I talked about that stream too, I think.
and I look at my music too with that mentality, is that kind of a lot of times I kind of feel like it ruins it a little bit. It might be a little harsh to say that against myself, but like, I listen to my music basically on a daily basis as I gotta load up the stream with it, and there's a lot of times where it's just like, oh, I wish I would have done this. Oh, I wish I would have done that. Oh, I wish I would have done this. Oh, I wish I would have done that. Maybe you guys don't really see that so much, but like, I hear it, but I hear that all the time. So, kind of the same thing with video editing and stuff like that, because
I sent something to you for the Earthbound Night, and the statement was, let me see.
Sup, Mr.
I
Broccoli?
will probably adjust this
How are you doing
and
today?
resend it to you as I always do. Like that. That's definitely a thing. Like, oh man, I could, add a little spice here. And that's definitely, you can have those regrets all you want, but
Unbelievable.
I think
Oh, thanks for the bits, Mr. Broccoli.
most of the
You're the
time what's
best.
done is done.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you could eventually you can go back to it, like, but I think it's better if you don't keep thinking about it and just move on to another thing. Like, I think of AVGN where he had that revision episode. You remember that?
Yeah, probably. I remember one of
With
those like
Top Gun and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, like I think that's the best way to do it. Like, you're looking back, and then you're providing new things, as opposed to like, hey, this is a piece I drew 5 years ago. I slightly edited it. Like, if you look at artists, they like to compare what they've done back then. So they have this piece that they did in 2011. Well, here's something they did in 2018 that's the same thing, but you could see all the improvements because it's a new thing and they're a new artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where were we going again? We were talking about video editing.
Yeah.
I think that's all we had to say on it. Honestly, it's definitely when it's a slog, it's a slog. But I think the rewarding thing is when it's done.
Yeah.
And even then, you could also feel a little regret. But you did the thing.
Right. No. Yeah. Definitely. I just wish there was no slogging about in video editing, but there are times. I watch a couple videos of people doing the really fancy stuff, and you probably know more so about like. See, I don't know how to do animation really that well during video editing, and nor do I know how to do animation hardly at all in general. I get the very basic concept of it, but that's about it. But like you know how to make like kind of like the zooms and all that kind of stuff.
Editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do pseudo animation.
See,
like if you host Carl, that's not. I don't know if I call that animation. That's more like I moved a thing up and then I put it back down.
Yeah.
You know.
But like those are things I would definitely wish I knew how to do, but I do not know how to do. And sure, I could probably learn, but again, it's one of those things where it's like I need the time for it, and then I basically need to practice it too. So it's like,
Oh, hold on. Let me go back a bit. Actually, another thing I don't like about editing is that since my computer is not that great, I hope this computer doesn't become sentient and then murders me. But the thing that makes me not like editing in reality.
Thanks
is
for the
fact
house woot.
that when I'm looking over something, like I'm looking over video footage. In fact, the thing I submitted to you recently, I could barely watch the thing because it couldn't render, the preview well. So that's definitely something I don't like. The fact that I have to trial and error it sometimes.
Yeah, you
Suck. I hate you the most.
are. This is something I really wish, like, if I actually had cash, like, I would have no problem with being like, here's a $1,500 computer. Go crazy. Because, like, I think of a lot of people, you would definitely benefit it from the most. The stuff that you do, the stuff that you produce, I think is fantastic, and I think it just kind of sucks listening to crappy MacBook and crappy whatever the heck you have at your laptop.
My MacBook, I enjoy it, especially because it's from my uncle. I forgot to talk about that during the what's going on this week. My mom left yesterday to spread my uncle's ashes, so she's gonna be gone for like 41 days.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, she says 41 days, but it's like, hold on, I think you're doing the math wrong. She said she's coming back November 11th, 21st.
That's like 22 days.
I don't think that's
or something.
41. Yeah, I don't think.
Maybe
I don't know what she's
25.
thinking.
25.
She's old. She's. But yeah, the reason why I like the MacBook is because it's like one of the last things my uncle gave me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a weird gift though. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's
Unfortunately,
really
though,
weird.
computers are not a. What's the word? You can't have sentimental value, I think, with a computer. Like it's unless
My
it's
computer. This PC I'm talking to you on. His name is Silver Brother, and I do not appreciate the fact that you don't think I have sentimentality towards it.
you
But
name
then
your
again,
computer.
but honestly, I agree because when you get a better one, you forget about the other one.
Yeah, here's a if anybody wants to understand why getting a better computer is like night and day, please go direct your attention and message Troy about the switch from the 2018 switch from Windows XP to Windows 10 computer.
Yeah, he lost all those files. That's what happened.
He didn't care. He cared a little bit, but not too much. Because when he got his new computer rolling and everything, he was like, oh my god, what have I been missing out in my life?
But I've had this computer for well over 5 years now. So I think I do have somewhat of a sentimentality to it because that's 1/4 of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but it's not like I'm gonna go. You know, I don't go every night. You know, I pull out my orange Genju controller and pet it softly. You know, I don't do that.
Well, I think
I mean,
it's
maybe
just,
Carl does.
I think it's just computers are specifically that fall into that mentality, I guess. Because
I'll
like,
probably just keep mine after I get a new one, though. Honestly,
I
won't
mean,
get that
but
much
like,
use, but still.
there are kind of times when it's okay for that kind of stuff too. Because like the older computers, like back from the '90s and stuff, like those are starting to gain value again because they're old and they run older stuff and all that kind of stuff. An Apple II these days, I think, is
Oh.
going back up in price significantly, which is silly because it's an Apple II. It's got green and black as its graphics.
Everybody want to play that Commodore 64.
It's 2.5 bit, I suppose, if you will. But like,
Evening. I just want to shout out. I'm glad that you're very responsive to what we're discussing. I think that makes it
yeah,
worth it. So what else are we gonna? Are we gonna move on from? I think we're done with.
yeah.
with
I don't think I got much else to say.
So we've been doing pretty well. We still got game of the week. I don't know. We kind of hinted at what we're talking about. Let's do a little intermission with the Kaya talk because you put that on there.
Yeah.
Kaya do anything interesting?
So I was gonna take a picture of her just to add to the fact of like Kaya talk, but I forgot. So she's a dog. I walk her 3 times a day. She lays around a lot. Every time I walk up to her, she rolls on her back and expects me to pet her. And then when I want to stop petting her, she paws me to continue, saying that I am not done. That's about it, really.
Why'd you write it down if that's what you're gonna give me?
Because everybody was like, "We want this."
I like only so with segments. You only add it in if something did actually happen. Like you didn't have to put it in there.
Here's a picture.
I thought you were gonna tell me a story of like, yeah, Kaya the other day ate a fungus. You know, I thought they were gonna go that way.
There's a picture of her sleeping. I mean, I guess one exciting thing I could talk about on the
Kaya story.
on the Kaya moment is we saw a snake on a walk.
You find interesting things when you go on walks. I remember last time. What was it? Yeah, it was a hornets.
Yeah, there was that moment too. That was
What happened to me?
what?
Did he say? You're pretty good.
No.
Like what would the snake do? You just saw it.
Yeah, we just saw it. I was freaked out about it, and it just it slithered away. And then we saw it again, like later in the week. I haven't seen it though. It was at the same spot though.
You should name it then. You know, there's this lizard that comes out whenever I get the mail. I've called him Commander. I forget the other. It's Commander something. I haven't seen the lizard in a while, so probably dead. You know, I was gonna mention if Johnny and I had a podcast, we like to joke about this. I wanted to have a what do you call it? Not designated. Well, something along that line, like a specific. Each podcast, we would dedicate like a couple seconds to this joke. Hey guys, welcome to the afternoon conversation. So we're gonna move in right to our first segment. Is there a new good Harvest Moon game coming out? Nope. All right, let's move on. Like that, I wanted to always do that. I think we should do that. Like, is there a new F-Zero game? Could be the joke.
Yeah.
Is there a new F-Zero game coming out? Carl, got the answer?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right, let's move on to our next topic here.
So yeah, that's it's been your weekly Kaya talk.
And your F
Oh, he broke again.
Oh,
n-
did I?
no, you're good now.
That's just my connection that time.
Okay.
So the last thing you have written here, or so are we doing game of the week, or are you doing some other prompt you wrote?
Well, when do you want to stop? I suppose.
How long have we been at it?
Um, 2
Oh,
hours,
not
34 minutes. So an hour.
so
and
1
34?
hour and 30 minutes. We
Yeah.
we can go a little longer, like maybe 20 minutes more.
Sure. Well,
Unless
if we're
you're a
we-
little sleeps.
We could probably save the next topic then for next week.
We said that about Animal Crossing, so I should write that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're doing game of the week now, right?
Yeah, so game of the week is no surprise. It is Earthbound, of course.
The week the sneakers. Oh,
This
I
is
got
not,
the wrong docket here.
It's not sneakers. Please excuse my co-host here.
My dear Aunt Sally
Um,
Pendez.
have you beaten Earthbound, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I went high pitched there. Ah, yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
But it's been a while since I've indulged in it. Like my last playthrough was probably 2007.
That's a long. Wow. Really?
Why?
That just seems like such a long time. But you've seen people play it over the years.
No.
Oh.
Just kidding. I've seen you and Troy play it, for God's sake. But that was still like not a while ago, like 2012. The most recent I've seen of Earthbound is the AVGN video and then Buster speedrunning. That's my exposure.
Yeah. I still kind of think Boogie Percent is not that cool, but I suppose at the same time it's a quicker version of a speedrun for Earthbound than playing the whole entire
It's a
game.
fun. It could be a fun. What do you call it?
Practical race.
I guess. So what do you want to talk about Earthbound? You picked the game of the week, so let's...
I did. This is true. So, I obviously I asked the question a couple times throughout the week. Does anybody have an idea of how long this is going to take on Sunday?
So my fear about I should have brought this up earlier, but my fear about talking about Earthbound now is like you're also just gonna be talking about it again during Earthbound Night.
Perhaps.
But it is also a pretty good topic. I think look. I'm hoping it's not longer than 13 hours.
I think the biggest thing I'm gonna have to accept is that I like reading all the text throughout that game, and if I want that game to be in a practical time, I gotta skip it all. Just go forward.
Oh, one of my fears is that wait, hold on. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I think one of my fears is that whenever I give you a number, it's always above it. Like I said, oh, you're gonna beat Sunshine in maybe 11 hours.
So you're saying I have to beat 13 hours?
Yeah. Because for Zelda Night, how long did that go again? Because I said 8 hours.
Yeah, that was
think it
almost
was-
almost 12, I think, or
Yeah,
13.
and then
maybe.
Pikmin Night, I said 8 hours again.
Yeah, that was. Even I think I thought that was not
Generous.
practical. Yeah, generous.
But okay, I'm giving the 13. Man.
The 13. Okay.
Now, since you said you like to read the text, I hope that you're not looking at like you're 12 hours in, and then you gotta run to Gygas, and you're like, oh shoot, I gotta beat what the time speed gave me, and then you just start skipping all the text to get there.
Well, I
Hope that's
think
not what happens.
I think I'll probably go at it maybe more so with a speedrunner's mentality, regardless of
Warnings. The
regard-
future doesn't.
regardless of text and all that stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be anywhere near like a world record pace or like during a more practical pace. I just don't like. I measured the playthrough I did on my channel years ago, and again, I was pretty slow about it too, so I was going at it at a pretty leisurely pace, but it was around 18 hours for that, which it's a long time. I don't want that to. I don't think it's gonna be 18 hours. If anything, it'll probably be like 15 hours then, So get ready for a long night. But if I skip through, but again, like if I skip through a lot of that text and just kind of blow through it, like I think it'll be, I think I'll save a lot more time than I'm kind of giving myself credit for. So we'll see.
I hope if I'm around for it all, I hope I get I Survived Earthbound Night, Pikmin Night, and what other ones was I around for? Oh, Gameathon for sure. I wasn't around for Zelda Night. That's when I had the internet bamboozled, and I wasn't around for Sunshine.
We should make that a thing. Like, you have to post it at the specific time that I give you, and if you post it all, like, literally in the text thing, and like if you have the time, like obviously because it shows the time, stubs, the stamp. So if it matches the times that I give you, like, then you get a status of like I survived this night. Like it's super Hexa Zelda Night Survivor.
Jesus.
In Discord.
Man, I definitely think that like not to go way back. I think we did discuss this, but I think that Gameathon was definitely the most taxing for me.
It's
um
it's a whole other ball game, honestly.
Yeah, we were talking about how it's like, oh, I'm getting old and all that stuff. But I think I don't know if I mentioned the fact that I had to help moderate too. Was definitely a new feature to the stream. Like I felt very obligated to stay up, as well as I to enjoy it. You know.
Well, I guess let's hear I guess two sides of the story. I was one from Varuna and one from yourself. I guess. I always look at for the most part, the moderating is not really being too much of a moderator in a sense. There's a couple moments where it's just like, you know, obviously you'll get the one person that decides to come in and just say bad stuff or like
bad Tom words.
Yeah, and bad Tom words. And obviously you guys are pretty good at just like, you know, either giving a warning or just being like, you're done, go away. You don't need to be here. But
I think I've only kicked someone once. I know that I think Varuna has more kills, headshots under her belt.
But I don't think like it's that taxing, is it? I mean,
oh well, the thing was like, okay, when are they going to change games here? So
yeah,
the
no.
title. And then I had to run don't forget I had to run the request hour too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you kind of had a little more duty than you were kind of a secretary.
Hey, evening. That wasn't me that banned you. It was Nightbot that banned you.
I remember that. That was a disaster. That was the dumbest thing. Yeah, no, Gameathon's definitely a different ball game altogether. Just
yeah, these are definitely more lax. When you get a bad, what I like is I honestly do kind of like automod the idea. Because it's like, okay, he's saying something racist. Let's just boot him out of here.
right, yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Like, but I know that since it's an AI and all, it won't. For one, it won't catch everything, and for two, it'll catch wrong things.
Right, and I think that's why it's important to have a human touch available in those instances.
But honestly, automod is really helpful for moderation, and I think that's probably Varuna and the others didn't have that luxury when they were, you know, out moderating here.
Back in the day.
Like, I remember there was that one guy that was just joining in on different alt accounts and stuff. Like, that was a mess, and I'm glad that I think if they were to join now, it wouldn't be as easy to
the best way I can ever feel about stopping them altogether, and unfortunately it just takes time, is that you just got to sit there and just shut them down every time. Eventually they just get bored. And
yeah,
I think people.
I know. Katie was saying like, "Oh, just ignore them," but it's definitely hard to ignore them. I always think that about anything about a troublemaker.
Yeah. There's been a couple times when I just, you know, somebody will come in and literally just say something and nobody will even ban them. They'll just say their thing and they'll be confused. Like there was one person months ago that they came in, they followed me, and they were like, I literally just did this just so I could get my name said and get attention. And nobody, like, I was so proud of everybody else that was in the chat because nobody else gave this guy the time of day. I'm pretty gosh darn sure that he left mad. Like, and that in itself is a success. So thank you to the chat for being brilliant.
I
at
must
that.
have not been there. I must have not been
Yeah.
there. I don't
So-
remember that.
So sometimes
Um,
it's just best to just be like, whatever. Just be squall about it, okay?
Oh, be a card.
No, not the card.
What are you talking about?
Here, let me find the picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You built a community that stands by what you stand. No. I don't know why I'm so obligated to say nope, but
So like here's a perfect. So in the
fact that
game
he's not playing Knack 2.
Final Fantasy VIII, Squall being the main character, will have
Very
moments like
funny.
this, where you're just like whatever. So you just gotta be like that.
Whatever. So Earthbound Night.
Yeah, that's the game.
Um.
When you played through the game, do you remember your playthrough of the game at all?
No, yeah. I might be mixing up stuff from your playthroughs though, but
Okay,
for the
so-
most part, I think I remember.
So there's a couple ways you can play Earthbound. One is with bottle rockets and one is without bottle rockets.
I
Bottle-
think I went with Bottle Rockets.
Yeah. Okay. So bottle rockets are another way to. I think speedrunners are required to use them because they do.
Buster uses them.
Yeah.
Too.
I. Bottle rockets are the cheapest bullcrap possible. Like, they're complete. They make the game completely lame, in my opinion. And
You know what I did though? I think this is how it went. I saw the Bottle Rockets, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't use these. These might. Not that I was like, these are cheap. I was more like, what if I need to use them later?
yeah.
Because I thought, yeah.
But like you can't. They're hard to just like ignore because obviously a multi-bottle rocket near the end, like it literally obliterates Diamond Dog in one hit, and it's like I watched Troy do this. I was really mad because like number one, he was like, "Oh, I'm doing a good technique here. I'm being the best," and it's like I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "No, Troy, you're being lame." And I'm sorry, Troy, for listening in at this at a later time, but bottle rockets are dumb, and you should feel bad.
Hey, just cool.
You just cool it. But
Cool it is the new my fault.
yeah, but truth be told, like I wasn't so much mad at Troy. I was just mad at that they were a thing in Earthbound because like the skill level is just significant if you use bottle rockets. Like it's like going from hard to normal. Maybe even hard to easy in some cases.
I don't think I used Bottle Rockets during my Diamond Dog fight.
But the
Yeah, I
reason
could see how it could be like making that fight trivial.
yeah, so it kind of raises the question of like, should I use them or should I just stay with my own tactics?
I don't know. It is definitely open for debate whether or not you want this night to be pretty a lot quicker, or you want this night to be through your power. I guess. I don't know. I think if you don't like using them though, you shouldn't use them.
See, I don't think the
'Cause you already
bazooka's
seem-
the bazooka's strong, but I don't think it's that strong. Like I think it's definitely something that I'm more attuned to Jeff using later in the game because Jeff does no damage without it. Basically making him useless, but The bottle rockets are just like, all right, this is dumb. Why was this a thing?
Ow. Hello? Oh, sorry.
I was
I was having a little coughing fit there. Are you thinking?
no, I'm just. I finished that rant, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, do you have anything else to say?
You kind of need to mediate this part of the discussion because honestly,
Yeah, that's true. Since you haven't really played the game much, what do you remember your favorite area?
Saturn Valley.
I would definitely say Saturn Valley is the best like safety zone area. Like every time I go to Saturn Valley, it's just like, all right, well, nothing ever bad is going to happen here. Because obviously you get free heals, you get free healthcare, you get you get pretty good stuff too, if you have enough money, that is.
Yeah.
So I always like Tucson though. Every time.
So just like a town is that more?
Yeah,
more
I mean,
mass?
it just doesn't have to be specifically like a town like Forsyth 3 or anything like that. I mean,
Oh,
you could be like
I would say Forsyth.
you could be like Peaceful Rest Valley, or you could be like the Scaraba or whatever.
Yeah, I don't
Deep
know why I like
Darkness.
Forsyth. I just like Forsyth. I think one I think the name is really cool, like Forsyth. You know, like when I saw it in Smash, I was like, "Ooh, this is cool."
I like Forsyth. The only problem is that like I'll explain this more for Sunday when we get to that point. But Forsyth is inherently the biggest drag in the whole game. I mean, you spend
Oh, yeah.
so much time in Forsyth.
I think that's also why I like it because you spend so much time there that you remember it. I think at least on my end.
Yeah, like when you get done with Forsyth, and I'm not talking about like being done as in when you go to Summers. I'm talking like being done as in after you come back from Summers to do the stupid thing, last thing in Forsyth. It's like, okay, we're finally done with this area. But yeah, I really like Tucson a lot. I don't know. I think part of it is the it's not really a flea market, is it? It's more of just a
Marketplace, a bazaar. No, not a bazaar, but like what's the word then? I don't know.
I mean,
Fortnite? No.
I mean, it's kind of a flea market in a sense. I mean, you buy the sign. The guy's got signs for sale. Like, that would only be at a flea market and nowhere else.
Or at the sign store.
And I mean, the place is called Berglund Park too, so it's
Yeah,
Can't really call it a
kind of has that like street sale,
Yeah.
a street vendor sale type deal.
yeah. But
Sorry.
but yeah, it's also got the venue for the Runaway 5 there too. I guess there's just a lot of I feel like Tucson is a happier time in the game.
You know what? I think that brings up an interesting point. Are there really? Do you have most of your favorite characters are musician characters? Are they not? Like KK Slider.
I do like KK Slider.
Do you have a favorite like musician cast or character type in a video game? I might say Waka from Okami. He's like this flute samurai guy from the Celestial Beyond.
My favorite musician from a video game. That's a little bit more of a difficult question, I suppose. To think about.
Does Proto Man count when he whistles his theme?
I don't think so. I do like the Runaway 5 characters though. Those would probably be pretty close to the top of the list, but I'm not sure if they would necessarily be the top of the list.
I would think I was thinking this. I think the Midnight Riders there. They have the potential to be one of the most interesting.
The problem with the
Yeah.
Midnight Riders is that you never actually meet them, so you can't classify them technically as a character.
Yeah, what I was gonna say though is, oops, sorry, that's my coffee machine. You know, what I was saying though is like I was talking about this when you were playing Left 4 Dead 2 last time. If they are in fact the protagonist for a possible Left 4 Dead 3, they have to be really interesting. Otherwise, they all kind of look the same from at a glance. There's a guy with the beard and bald, but they're all long-haired dudes.
Yeah.
And they're not as diverse as like 1 and 2. So I think to make up for that, they have to be really interesting. So what I'm saying at the end of the day is, if they are really interesting, they have the potential to be like at the top of the list.
I would agree with that then.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Trying to think of other musical characters though. Honestly, Link, I guess technically would be one.
Sorry, who?
Link.
Oh, how about? Can we say people like the guy, the Guitar Man? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be. I'd consider that. I mean, it's. I guess at a point, it might as well just be a guitar, even though it is a guitar and it's a very different thing. Me and Troy had this discussion once, and like nothing came out of it because like it was just like a whatever conversation, but
squall conversation.
yeah, whatever. But yeah, I would consider Guitar Man for sure. Trying to think of who else. This would have been a better planned discussion, I think.
There's a game that came out. I'm really pretty interested in it. It's called Wander Song, and you're a traveling bard. And the character looks pretty, not interesting, but more like very likable. I'd have to give that game a shot, like a playthrough though.
Evie brought up a couple good ones. The band for the Zora band from Majora's Mask.
Oh right, yeah. That was cool.
Evan, is it Mikau or Mik? How do you say that?
I think it's just Mikau.
Okay.
Or my cow. My cow.
I don't remember the drummer's name, but yeah, those guys are pretty cool too.
I think the Odyssey ones are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, those guys are cool.
Yeah, they're dressed up pretty sharply. And,
But the problem with the Odyssey guys, besides Pauline, is that they have a couple lines and that's like it.
Yeah, and they don't have names.
Yeah.
Their only distinction is that they play an instrument.
They kind of got like thrown to the side. Miyamoto,
I still think it's kind of cool though.
You failed them, Miyamoto.
Like, if I had to cosplay, that would be a pretty easy cosplay to do. Just get probably not easy now I think about it, because man, red suit is expensive, but I think that'd be pretty cool. Tiho or Tijo is the drummer.
Taijo.
In Harvest Moon, there's a guitarist named Gustava, who's also kind of just like a free roaming guy. Lives in a yut. What's it called? It's like a hut thing. He's kind of all right. I don't know. I know you don't know him, but
No.
or yurt. That's what I'm thinking.
Yurt. I do know of those.
Yeah, he lives in one of those. Yeah, they weren't really meant to be characters, but you could look at them and be like, hey, they're still cool.
So here's a debate. Would we consider the Bith Cantina band as video game characters?
Sorry, the who?
The Bith Cantina band.
Is that from? Are you talking about the Star Wars one?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, I didn't know that first word, but I was like, oh, you should have said Mos Eisley Cantina band. Like, don't get like specific with me here.
Well, that's what they're called. They're called Biths.
My favorite thing about them is, I know I'm not the biggest fan of Family Guy, but one of my favorite jokes from them is like, hey, okay, that was our song. What do you guys want us to play now? The same song. All right, let's do it.
But they have two songs.
But what? One is a one-hit wonder, and the other one is the lying in its shadow. It's like Skilo's "I Wish," Okay. You don't know.
But I feel like I've seen Bith band members in video games, like Lego Star Wars.
In fact, you could even play as them, I think, right?
Maybe, possibly.
Oh no, I know different size songs. Honestly,
I mean, it's probably not on the top of the list, but I figured we just throw them out there for the sake of argument. So, but yeah, I don't. As much as you would think a musician would know more characters, but I do not. I do not play games to play as musician characters too often.
most characters that I could think of are like small time bard characters that show up in an RPG and kind of like sing you a tale and then they're gone.
I always thought bards were the silliest thing in Dungeons and Dragons. Like I played a game called Neverwinter Nights, and every time I read the bard's description, I'm like, why would anybody want to play this character? What benefit is this? Like,
Oh, you can play as a bard in Dragon Quest 9. They're called minstrels, and basically you do like tap dancing, you sing a song, and you rally up your troop. And then there's this other one where you're just a superstar, and then one of the big moves is you summon this boy band behind you, and then they start dancing, and then that deals damage to every enemy.
oh,
Those are kind of cool, but they're not. I think what we're looking for here, especially because they're custom characters that you play as.
here we go. I got one. Glottis.
So give us his famous song again.
Oh, Bone wagon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that counts.
He was the pianist at Casino Calavera. Don't tell me
but
that
he
doesn't
wasn't-
count.
He's not known as the pianist. He's known as the mechanic.
But he's
He-
pianist mechanic.
That's like saying, well, you won't get this reference, but that's like saying, in Resident Evil, Jill playing the piano to open a door makes her the musician of the group.
That's different though, because
I got the answer. The piano from Mario 64.
Oh God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we both agree on that. No, I get what you're saying, but it's like, I think the character has to be defined that they are the musician. Like, what do you think of? Besides the fact that KK doesn't wear clothes, you see him musician. You know. You look at a Caucasian man with brown dreads, musician. But yeah, I know you don't have jerks, but unfortunately, that's the me you picked. So that's your icon.
I guess so.
Okay.
Back to Earthbound. Oh, sorry.
I have one more.
You got something else?
So,
Okay.
in the Super Nintendo era, you are able to play this video game of Star Trek: The Next Generation, specifically as playing as Captain Picard, controlling the main things happening on the bridge. Captain Picard does play flute throughout the TV show, not specifically in the game, but does that make him a musician and qualify as worthy of the list?
I don't have the experience to say otherwise. Knuckles does not sing the rap music. Knuckles has a discussion with Sonic in the death chamber. That's it.
Sonic kind of does, though, doesn't he?
He yells at people.
But isn't the character, the main voice of Sonic, also like in some of those songs?
I don't
singer?
think he's ever played. I don't think no, because Crush 40 is not, Ryan or not Roger, Craig Smith or anyone. Sonic sings in his end credits. Apparently, that's what Brian's saying.
Let's see. There we go. I thought of another one. What's her name from Final Fantasy?
Parappa the
VI?
Rapper. Jamalami. Oh,
Parappa the
I got my
Reverend of man, those are good.
yeah, because Jamalami, she plays guitar like mad. she's a good character too.
I would those are passable.
I mean, Parappa doesn't play an instrument though. But Lammy does so.
What about Celis from Final Fantasy VI?
I might be inclined to say yes, but whenever I think of characters in RPGs, it's like if you don't have a move that's like sing.
I mean, have you? Not only does she come out there and sing, but she sings an aria. And for those of you who are not familiar with opera, an aria is a solo
the
piece
sorrow.
written specifically for the primary lead of an opera. And we're talking like an opera is hours long, generally speaking. So to go out there and sing the aria of an opera.
Yeah, I'll say that Celis counts then.
Yeah.
Chanterelle from Paper Mario.
You mean the toad that's in Club 64 or whatever?
Not okay. So I'm still saying no on Knuckles because the Hidden P is not Knuckles. I'm getting specific here. Or Hunted P. The actual rapper.
Wait,
Okay, fine. I'll say Parappa counts. You know, it's a evolving subject we're discussing here.
come on, Parappa, the first level of Parappa, which is quite possibly one of, if not the best musical cues in video gaming history. Master Onion Chop Chop's rap is 10 out of 10 art. That being said,
punch, it's all in the mind.
you know what?
I'm sure you'll find. What? Are you gonna swear at me? What? Are you gonna start rapping? Are you gonna play it?
Yeah, I'm playing it right now. Because it's that good.
It is. It's not my favorite Parappa song though.
You like the driving song, don't you?
No, I like Parappa the Rapper 2 big. Pretty specific, but my favorite song in 1 actually is the bathroom song. I don't know if you know that one.
No, I never played the game enough. I want to own it.
You want me to tell you it real quick?
That's fine.
Wait, so yeah, I can?
Yeah.
So Parappa just had a successful birthday with the flower lady, Sunny Funny, right? I wanted to be verbose about this because it's funny and stuff. But then he ate too much of the cake he made for her in the previous part. So he has to dump, the bowels.
Oh.
And Sonny's all looking at him because he's making a face to hold it in while he's driving. And Sonny's like, wow, he's so charismatic right now. He looks so handsome when he scrunches his face. And then he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then when he gets to the gas station, he runs to the bathroom and then notices that Chop Chop Master Onion, Instructor Mussolini, which is kind of a weird name, honestly. What's the frog's name? The frog and the Cheap Cheap Chicken. They're all in line for the bathroom, and they're basically like, stop. We were here first. If you want to get by, you have to rap.
Oh.
So yeah, he out raps them, and then he poops. And then Sonny's like, oh, the look is gone. What's the point anymore? But yeah, that's my favorite song because the setup is also pretty ridiculous to it.
This is a game I really want to play on stream at some point, but I need to own it. Like, that is the only way I will ever play that game on stream.
It's not a hard game to find it, and
it's expensive.
You could play the remaster on.
No man, I gotta get
PS4.
That's a play because like I was talking about the demo disc that I had. Parappa was on that demo disc, so that's kind of a
childhood regained.
Yeah, like I need to get it.
But I mean, you're holding us back on our LSD playthrough. Why can't you just get the Japanese PSN account?
Because that's like $1 million.
What do you mean? You don't even know how much yen is. Every time a yen amount comes out, you're like, what is that, like $200?
That's because it
no,
usually
Carl.
is.
Like
200 yen is
well,
$2.
no, I know that, but I don't even think it's $2. I think it's
Yeah,
like
it's the power of the dollar. My sister put it like this: it's basically free money. She was buying a lot of stuff because the dollar is very powerful in Japan. So okay, so 200 yen is actually more approximately a dollar 50-ish or something, a dollar 34 or something like that.
Now I gotta look.
You're checking, you're fact checking.
Okay. 200. You said
200 yen.
you're correct.
Or what is it? Because I gave out like a bunch of numbers.
It's $1.79.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Well, it's not expensive. I don't think you need to make a new PSN account or anything. Well, no, you do have to make a new PSN account. I don't think you need to pay for PS Plus or anything. All you need is just that, and then you transfer money to yen and then buy games that way. I know it's very confusing, but I mean, a lot of people do it because it opens up Japanese only games, honestly, which is pretty cool. You can also do that on the Switch, I think. So Earthbound is a RPG. It's an RPG. What else do you want to discuss about that? Favorite party member? I think you said yours was Pooh.
Yeah, it's Pooh or Ness.
Yeah, I hate to be basic, but yeah, Nass, honestly.
It's kind of weird because like there's a moment where Pooh I think just overtakes Ness, and then there's a moment where Ness just comes back.
Isn't that like after? Oh, shoot, isn't it Magicant? What is it? It's you get a mad level up after you fight that totem thing, right?
You mean the Manny Man
In their
statue?
dream. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you get like a sick amount of level ups?
Yeah,
I think that's the point.
You get 200,000 experience.
Yeah, that's why.
Plus,
that's
like,
where I think the overtaking occurs, really.
Plus like 30 stat points in each thing.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite fight in that game.
That Manny statue, that is a fight I do not enjoy.
It's not a fun fight, but I like the setting it has.
Every time.
Sorry. Are we talking about the same thing still? I forget.
Yeah, the one in Magicant.
Okay, yeah.
That Manny
It's not a fun
statue,
fight, especially because you're alone.
Yeah, that's a difficult fight.
But I like what it represents. Doesn't it kind of represent his like repressed self, kind of?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for it to be totally hard. Like, there's no reason for it not to be. It's totally balanced in a sense. That and I guess hard moments in the game that I'm worried about this Sunday. Department store.
The perfume department.
The perfume. Oh man,
I'm worried about that. What is it? The swamp? I'm trying to remember a part that I definitely did not like.
The pyramid's hard too.
The one where you ride the guy, the big golem guy.
Oh, you mean Dungeon
Golem?
Good old Dungeon Man.
Yeah.
No, before that.
Oh, I don't know.
What else is hard? There's a lot. Like, I think my most nervous thing is that I talked a big talk about the beginning of the game, specifically up to Titanic Ant. Like I said, I've not had too much problem ever fighting Titanic Ant and whatnot. Buster's like, yeah, level 8's not the most ideal because it's hard, and I remember fighting him easily at level 8. Like, you just get to level 8 and then you...
This is a fighting red scenario.
I guess.
Although I was vindicated when you had a lot of trouble the first time you fought him. Like that Pikachu, man.
Oh, yeah.
Who knew?
But yeah, like, for the most part, Tucson area, like, through the second sanctuary location is pretty pretty easy. 3, I feel like, can be obnoxious, but for the most part, it's not too bad. The upper area, like after you finish the zombie section of Threed, I feel is the more difficult spot until you start grinding within the hidden base. Moonside has always been difficult because that's also a Manny statue fight, and that statue, it's not as hard, but it's still kind of obnoxious.
Mm.
And a lot of the enemies there, that area and the department store, both those enemies are just obnoxious. Because like, you fight in Moonside the fire hydrants which explode, the clocks which get this crappy multiple attacks. This just like, we're gonna stop time, attack,
So one.
attack, and resume time. Okay, so you've taken mortal damage. Cool. And yeah, those are not fun. Desert's pretty easy. Summer's is pretty easy.
My favorite segment is probably like the climb before Gygas too. I think I really like that area.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day, and I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk about it. So I was thinking about stupid moments in Earthbound, and specifically when they get turned into robots. I don't know if that was necessarily the greatest idea. Like in Mother 1, you fight Geeg or Gaigu or however you say it, as the normal characters. In Mother 3, you fight the Masked Man with normal characters. In Earthbound, you get turned into robots. Like,
I think like I like the idea, but also at the same time, isn't the Manny statue like kind of just before that?
yeah,
Like how? So it's like you gained all these new powers, you found your true self, and now you're letting all that go. You're letting go of your mortal form to become a robot,
yeah.
which I think is kind of cool. But the fact that, like, for one, you just had a revelation, kind of makes it a little weird. But two, I mean, like, imagine you're a kid and you had to, like, okay, you gotta be robots now. We're putting your brain in the robot, SpongeBob. You know, like it's pretty intense, and I think I found that pretty cool too. But like, where do you stand on it? I know you're about to say it's stupid.
Yeah, pretty much in a sense. The more I think about it, it's just like they've gone through so much in the game. Like, why do they have to change it into robots? Like at the very end for, and like the transition. Like I know it's supposed to be this heartwarming moment where it's like their souls and whatnot get put back into their bodies, which doesn't make much sense either because I'm pretty sure their brains are stuck in the robots at that point. Like, it was just kind of just this could have all been avoided if they just threw out the whole robot thing and just kept them as kids. Like, I think
something instead that could have happened is that they all had to lose something to get into that domain. Though that's hard to say what they would have to lose.
yeah.
I think the whole idea that they're setting up is that there's this big sacrifice that they had to do to even do what they have to do. At least that's what I saw it as.
Yeah.
But I guess Itoya was there. He's like, I want robots. I don't know. I think there's other ways it could have been done, but I don't know. It's also hard to imagine. Because I think if they didn't do that, then it would just be like a typical RPG. I was like, oh yeah, this is just the last area, as opposed to, all right, now we're really fighting for something here.
Right.
That's my comments on that part. I do like where they go to though. That muted color set, that muted color palette, and then the fact that it kind of looks endless, to me.
Yeah.
Like, that looks really cool. That's in Persona 4 as well. Not to spoil. What else do you want to talk about?
I think that's kind of all I really have left, other than we're right there.
Oh, my favorite character? Or your favorite character besides the main characters? I like shoot, is it Buzzy or Sparky?
Buzzy or
What's the bee that gets slapped?
Okay, so he is a bee, or he is not a bee. His name is Buzz Buzz.
That's what I meant.
A bee he is not.
Well, called Buzz Buzz. I always like to imagine that they were a bee.
But he says it specifically. He's like, a bee I am not.
I know, but just because someone says that they're not something, doesn't mean you can't imagine that they are.
The only problem with that with saying Buzz Buzz is
Yeah, you said it last time.
the best character is that he's too short.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring him up.
Like by the time we get to the end of Earthbound, you're like, Buzz Buzz? Who?
Buzz Buzz. I like Applicant.
Applicant's cool. He's a little kind of out there though.
Yeah. But they named the fawn after him, so come on now. Just heard some scary noises outside. So are you thinking about your favorite character? Or are you
I
just
am.
like,
Mr. Saturns would be a good choice.
Yeah. Imagine.
Photograph guy would be a good choice too.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Fuzzy. Okay, Fuzzy Pickles. Oh, Nash's dad is pretty cool. He's just like, hey son, how's it going? Give us some Nest dads in chat.
Trying to think who else would be a decent character. Tessie, man, that's a good choice right there.
You know, I like how Nintendo, a lot of the dinosaur likes, like Tessie. Like, you know, the one in Mario, right? It's called Lori, right? So Dory or Lori.
It's Dory Dip.
Yeah, a lot of them are like ends with I or E. I.E. Yoshi, I guess if you even want to consider that. Yeah, Tessie's pretty cool though.
I'd go Tessie. I like Tessie.
Okay, that's fair. I wish King did more.
Yeah, that was kind of a letdown.
Because I mean, you have to name King, so it's like, you thought they would play a little more in, but you already have the cast of 4. If King was around, I would assume that you wouldn't get Pooh. If you think about it like that,
I suppose
because they don't really. Earthbound is not known for having more than like 4 party members, except Mother 1. Flip that lid. Let's have what was it, Lloyd, and then Biff, Spike,
Teddy.
I don't know. Biff. Oh, and Plessy, yeah, Plessy. See? But yeah, that's all I have to. I don't know. It was definitely a harder topic to talk about, but I mean, I love Earthbound still. I just need to. I hope tonight can remind me of a lot of things.
Well, hopefully get you guys all ready for this Sunday, Earthbound Night.
Sunday. Why Sunday? I guess
I'm gonna be at a concert tomorrow.
Oh.
So I'd.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, why not Friday? And I was like,
I considered doing it Friday, but I was like, Sunday I think is just the better day to do it.
That's why I was kicked to the curb on this time slot.
And then you guys get to hear about the mystery event on Sunday, which I'm actually stunned that nobody has taken a wild guess at what. Yeah, I thought.
You know what, dude? Actually, someone did guess it.
Did they?
They didn't. I didn't confirm it, but someone already guessed that it would be that game.
Can you silently type it to me? Who that person was? Did I hear something? I don't know.
It's kind of a guess.
That's kind of a guess, but I don't know.
I don't remember what they said specifically, but it was definitely they were pretty close. Is it one game
Or is it many games?
and many games? And many games?
You guys should enjoy it though. You'll be in for a surprise.
I won't. That's and Carl's still thinking about all the because he talked about it before. He has a December event.
Yeah,
planned.
the December event.
We're not disclosing much information about that except
That one.
it's gonna be pretty.
I gotta come to an acceptance and I'm going to do that, but I think I'm gonna go forward with it.
Like the way when he told me about it, I was like, "Are you sure?" That's
Yeah, pretty
intensive.
much. Everybody said that. They're like, "Good luck."
Oh.
But this is what we do on the Carl and 01 show.
Now
we
I-
do crazy things.
Can I say, if you think you deserve a shirt for Gameathon, you have to sit through this one. to
Yeah,
get the
I
real
agree.
shirt. But yeah, I'm surprised you're like, yeah, you know, this is a good idea.
I won't even.
I
get a
told him
shirt.
some other ideas, but I think he's gonna stick with the original idea that he told me.
Oh, you say you have nothing better to do, but you will even question this one, Evie. But I think with that, I think it's time to call it a night. I do have to go walk a puppy. For her
Yes.
third and final walk, and I do kind of have to go to the bathroom too. So
Oh. So you can end streams if you have to poo poo pee pee doo doo.
yeah,
But when Speed has to,
actually,
look at this guy. Look at this guy with a weak bladder.
come on. I had to put up with all your microphone just like disconnecting, reconnecting.
Want me to do it some more?
Yeah.
Hey, you better hush hush. You better. So that was the trust us. Just please don't watch this podcast. Podcast number 4, right?
This podcast today has actually been sponsored by Burger King. Burger King at oh shoot.
Sorry, I ate the burger.
At BK, you got it.
We're also sponsored by the Dollar Shave Club. I've never felt so shaved in my life before. Let me exemplify it here. So I have a little stubble here. I'm gonna.
Oh, Speed, what are you doing? Oh God! Oh God! No! Oh God!
Yeah, 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 yeah.